Here we go again. Another NFL offseason is on the horizon. And what are we going to be dealing with the entire offseason? I would give you guys one guess, one try at it. The answer is not hard. It should be obvious. It is the same thing that we have dealt with the past two off seasons. The answer, of course, is the Dak Prescott contract situation in Dallas. The Cowboys are out of the playoffs for the second straight year. They finished 6-10 this season. And honestly, they were an eyesore to watch for the majority of the season. Now, that doesn't mean that Jerry Jones is going to keep his name or his team out of the headlines. We are heading into the wild card round of the playoffs, and Jerry Jones found another way to keep himself and the Dallas Cowboys relevant. He was on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. Again. And the inevitable topic of Dak Prescott's contract ended up coming up. The issue of who had the leverage in their contract negotiations was mentioned. And Jerry Jones made the comment that Dak Prescott has all the leverage. I don't understand that. Just here is what Jerry Jones said, quote, "I don't know how you could have any more leverage. His evolving into an NFL quarterback has been nothing short of a perfect picture. He has great ability, in my mind, to win games. He's talented. He certainly has the experiences, and he has all the things which has been substantiated by what we've offered Dak. You wouldn't offer Dak what we offered in the past if you thought he was very special. The issue is, how do you come together? And that's no stranger to me. I've been doing it all my life, putting things together. We have got to get it together." End quote. This is rinse and repeat of everything that we heard out of the mouth of Jerry Jones last summer. First of all, Dak Prescott has zero leverage. He has no leverage in this situation. The Cowboys have all the leverage in their coming negotiations. Dak Prescott is coming off of a devastating ankle injury. When we talked about this last summer, I mentioned that Dak was foolish to not accept the offer that the Cowboys had on the table. It paid on average around $35 million a year, had a $50 million signing bonus, and $110 million in guaranteed money. Quarterbacks of Dak Prescott's caliber, which is middle of the road, mediocre, he isn't in the elite class of guys like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. What the Cowboys offered was about as good as Dak Prescott is going to get. He didn't want to sign that contract because of the length on it. Dallas wanted 5 years, he wanted 4. The reason I said he was foolish, besides the fact that that was the best he was going to get, is because if Dak got hurt, he had no security. He was banking on the fact that he wouldn't get injured, since he hadn't missed a game his entire career up until this season. Now, we all know how that ended up. So now you have Dak Prescott going into contract negotiations, coming off of a devastating injury. And Jerry Jones wants to say that Dak has all the leverage? That is pandering on the part of Jerry Jones. He is buttering Dak up. He doesn't believe that garbage. He doesn't believe what he is saying. It looks to me like we are heading towards the same situation in Dallas that we have seen the last 2 years. Bottom line is, Jerry Jones doesn't want to commit to Dak Prescott. It's that simple. Just think about this for a second. A couple of years ago, Jared Goff had the best season of his NFL career. Rams make the Super Bowl with a big assist from NFL officials in New Orleans in the NFC Championship game. But I digress. Now that offseason, the Rams didn't waste any time in getting Jared Goff locked into a long-term deal. The Eagles did the same thing with Carson Wentz. Falcons did the same thing with Matt Ryan after the Falcons made the Super Bowl. I could keep going. My point is, in the NFL, teams don't hesitate to commit big money and long-term to their quarterbacks. Even if it's a bad decision. Even if the team is hesitant about their quarterback. Kind of like Jared Goff and the Rams. Teams usually aren't willing to let a quarterback walk or to risk letting them walk. So you've got to ask yourself, what is the holdup in Dallas with Dak Prescott? Dak and his agent are going to spin the fact that he's a winning quarterback. They'll point to his stats and how productive he's been the last 4 to 5 years. Dak is 42-27 as a starter. He threw for nearly 5,000 yards in 2019. This season, he was well on his way to the best statistical year of his career before he got hurt. Dak deserves to be on the same pay class as Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. That's what they'll say. That is the way Dak's camp is going to spin it. But all of that is fluff. All of that is garbage. It is garbage to cover up the truth. And the truth is, Dak Prescott is closer to the Matt Ryans and the Cam Newtons than he is the elite quarterbacks in this league. Dak Prescott is a mediocre quarterback. I say this all the time. Stats are misleading. Take the game last year against the Packers, for example. Dak throws for 463 yards. Now, that's a great game, right? The Cowboys were down 17-0 at halftime. The deficit grew in the third quarter. He padded most of those stats late in the game when the Packers went into prevent defense to run out the clock. Since 2019, Dak's record against playoff teams, 2-9. He is 6-11 in his last 17 starts. He should be 5-12. They should have lost that game against the Falcons earlier this season. Yet another example of the Cowboys going down early. They were down 20-0 at the end of the first quarter, 29-10 at halftime. And Dak Prescott padding his stats late in the game. If the Falcons weren't the best team in the NFL at giving up double-digit leads, and they knew how to recover an onside kick, Falcons win that game. Hell, the Cowboys trailed by double digits in damn near every game that Dak started this season. It happened against Cleveland. Down 31-14 at halftime, 41-14 going into the fourth quarter. Dak threw for 502 yards in that game, with most of those yards coming in the fourth quarter when the Browns let up defensively. Don't get swept away by Dak's big statistical numbers. That is an illusion. And Jerry Jones knows it. He knows it. Otherwise, the deal between Dak and the Cowboys would have been done by this point. Instead, we are going into year 3 of these contract negotiations. And we're likely looking at another franchise tag for Dak Prescott. If Jerry Jones was apprehensive to pay him when he was healthy, I cannot imagine that Dak's injury did anything to help Jerry Jones' apprehension. Now, Dak will make around $38 million on the franchise tag this season. 2021, like 2020, is going to be another contract year for Dak Prescott. It is going to be his final chance to prove himself. He is going in on year 6 in this league. And I know all the Dak lovers out there will claim things would have been different for the Cowboys this season had Dak not got injured. But I'm not buying it. They were 1-3 with him as the starter. Should have been 0-4. Most of these weren't close losses either. They were getting blown out. Had Dak not went down with injury, the Cowboys still would have finished 6-10. Matter of fact, I did a video last summer that predicted the Cowboys would finish 6-10 this season, and that is exactly what happened. This summer is going to mirror last summer. Jerry Jones in the media every week, pandering to Dak Prescott. Dak staying silent. They'll wait until the cutoff date in mid-July to get a deal done, and nothing will happen, and Dak Prescott will once again be franchise tagged. All right, that's all for today. Hit that like and subscribe button. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Leave me a comment in the section below. Will Dak and the Cowboys get a deal done this offseason? Or will he once again get hit with the franchise tag, go into 2021 and another contract year? Let me know your thoughts. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Best way to contact me is by email at BTLKC84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys next time.